Hey everyone, Curious Bystander here, Adam Curious Kobler, for those of you who may know me through other outlets. And today we are back with some more Final Fantasy XIV, talking about leadership lessons as they come up throughout my various questing endeavors in the game. At the moment, I am working on my Dragoon class, so I'm working on building that up a little bit here. And we'll be doing the analysis of people's leadership styles and scenarios as we go. So let me get my game going here. Minimize myself to the corner. And hopefully, yes, okay. We have audio, we have video, I think we have everything else. So, let's get going. Somebody has a snowman over here. Great. So, I need to get to the next level, 45, in order to continue the Dragoon quest. So, I'm about maybe 5 or 6 quests away, depending on what kinds of quests I get dished here. I'm up in the Ishgard realm, for those of you who are familiar with the game. Let's see. What quests do they have for me here? Says there are markers here. Maybe I need to go up. Aha, I do. Durchgesnelt would prevail upon a passing adventurer to search for his wayward daughter. That daughter of mine, when she has a mind to do a thing, there's no stopping her. She's gone off to the Weeping Saint alone. I've told her time and again it's not safe with all the unbelievers about. You're one of those fearless, fire-breathing adventurers, aren't you? Normally, I'd tell you to stay away from my fine, high-spirited lass, but right now I bid you go in hot pursuit of the Weeping Saint and bring her safe and sound. Okay. So let's talk for a second about this dude and his demands. So, as an adventurer, we have to take this into account with our situation. As an adventurer, we are prone to help people out with various quests and various requests and all that whatnot. However, even though we may be obliged to work for these people, just as many of us are obliged in our regular jobs to do work for others, that doesn't mean that you have to be an asshole about it. Good leaders, regardless of what the situation is, are the type who delegate gently and delegate with an eye for, I need to know where the heck I'm going here. Oh, way the heck up there. Okay. With an eye for the person who is doing the work. Now... Oh, hi. Let me finish my combat, then I'll finish the sentence. Okay. So, what I was saying is be conscious of the person who you are delegating the task to. Chances are they're your item, even if you are their boss, is not the only thing on their plate. As such, you need to be mindful that they have other things that they're needing to do, and what may seem pressing to you may in fact be at a low point on their list, if not at the bottom, based on the other priorities that they may have. So that's all I'll say about delegation. Is just be mindful. Make sure that the person you are delegating to has all the right details and can do what they need to do with minimal back and forth. That saves everybody time and stress. All right, let's see. Duke Snelt's daughter. My father sent you to fetch me back? My, he must be overstrung. He usually mislikes adventurers. He knows very well that I must have the blessed water, and one can hardly get it anywhere else. Okay. Father means well. Yeah, and that's another thing. So-and-so means well. You don't want everybody else covering for you because the person that you're delegating to may not necessarily know you that well. And that, oh, he's always like that, he's fine. It's like, if people have to say that, and if you hear that people are saying that about you, you may want to look at how you are leading, period, much less how you are delegating, because that can be a sign of trouble down the line. Anyways, Father means well, but I cannot have him ordering me home and insisting on armored chaperones. This war is older than he or his own father. What does he mean to do? Hide me away in the tea caddy and hope that the war ends before I'm old and grey? I'm sure he would like to do that too. Still, I am not insensate to the dangers. Will you keep watch while I fetch the water? Who knows? You may discover an unbeliever in the woodworks. I'm sure I will. You know what? Let's do target out of range. I want to see what my new thing is. Ooh. Deaded. I need to jump on this guy here. 2, 1, boink. Boop. I like that doom spike. That's a nice skill. Whoop. Pretty sure. Suspicious fellow. Oh, can't have no suspicious fellows around here. No, sir. What truck have I with you, or you with me, huh? All may partake of the saints' tears, or do you not believe that I am worthy? I am! I know what you're thinking, adventure man. When did I become a superhero? I do. You're as transparent as that water there. The water she's taking. You think I'm one of those unbelievers. I find your accusations vile and remove myself from your foul presence. Please do. Foul play was afoot. Is no longer. Alright, Duke Snelt's daughter, who has no actual name. What's wrong, and what is it you have in your hand? 'Tis no soldier's weapon, and none but knights have leave to bring a weapon into a holy place. Perhaps there really was a heretic here, or I have somehow summoned one by my careless jest. It's entirely possible. I shall return to Camp Dragonhead forthwith. I am not easy in my mind. Kind adventurer, you'd do best not to linger. Oh, okay. And he's respawned. That's fine. So that's another thing to be mindful of just as an individual. And as an individual, you are in fact a leader because you are leading yourself at all times. Is how you handle people like that suspicious dude who are being suspicious in suspicious places. That was a lot of suspiciouses. But it's something that is a decision you have to make, right? And every decision you make is a leadership choice, in my opinion. Because your decision, at the very least, affects you. At the very most, affects a lot of other people. And it's not something you should necessarily take lightly, especially if you are aware of the fact that your decision is going to affect a lot of other people. But on a personal basis, like with that suspicious dude back there, it's important to be mindful of your situation. Perhaps you are not in a great place to be puffing out your chest and or making threats. Perhaps diplomacy is the better course of action for everybody involved, if not just outright avoidance, if your gut is telling you that that's the way. That's as far as I'll go with that one. Fortunately, in Final Fantasy XIV, I am a relatively capable warrior in that I am a lancer of, reasonable level. I think this game caps out at level 80. And I can defend myself if I do stupid things to a certain degree. That doesn't mean that you should do things beyond your means. I thank you for her safe return. She is much subdued and will not tell me what passed at the Weeping Saint. I shall want answers, and quickly. I'm sure you shall. Give me my money and I'll leave you to go chastise your daughter. Strangely furtive man, you say, gazing fixed upon my girl, and armed in such a holy place? May well be an unbeliever, for who would risk doing such things? I don't know. A girl of noble blood who eschews the seclusion that is her due makes an excellent prey. Of course I know this. Many think me a scandal for allowing a daughter to run wild, and of course I worry, every day and every minute. Yet, I would not take the world from her. She is what she is, a rambling rose. She cannot help what she was born to. I will keep her safe. From a distance, mayhap, but safe. Alright. Takes care of Duca Snelt. Medwill. Alright. The Charlians say there are no greater generals than old women with naught to lose. And Medwell's steely gaze says she means to send you to war. Of course she does. Everybody wants to send me to go kill stuff. I had a son once, a fine boy. Maybe if he'd lived, he would have been around your age by now. I'm not sure. My memory is not so good these days. But he wanders into the ogre's belly in a blizzard, and one of the beasts in there killed him. I'm neither a knight nor a maid, but I tell you my heart cries out for vengeance, nay, justice, even after all these years. I won't go to my grave knowing that creature will blight another life as it did mine. Take all that I have left, but slay the Gorgotar. Here, this bottle of Karakul blood. Pour it out and the scent will draw the creature. It doesn't care what kind of blood it is, you see. Once it senses prey, you'll be ready, won't you? Oh, I'm always ready. need to go that way. All right. Again. So this is a little bit more of a personal leadership lesson here. Is vengeance, right? And I know, of course, there is corporate vengeance and corporate rivalries and all sorts of other political things that can lead to acts of vengeance. However, vengeance as a concept in and of itself, as honorable as it may seem in stories, especially like this or with quests or, wherever you may find them in fictional settings, it's a very noble thing, right? Where, I don't want to get quite close to that just yet. Where am I going here? Oh, I need to go around that way. Okay. Oh, you. I need to run away because I am low on health. Whew. That was a close call. I had no health and I was like, oh, that's a thing. Anyways, my opinion of vengeance may differ from yours. But that's besides the point, is if you feel that vengeance must be served upon whomever you feel it needs to be served to, there's just so much to be conscious of and so much that I would just caution you against as a whole. Now, can I get around here somehow? Now I know there's a... Aha. Yes. Hi. Target is not line of sight. He is now. Might hurt a touch. Alright. Oh, I can't actually go up this mountainside. So I will need to go through the Ixali camp, I guess. Yeah. Vengeance, all I can say is just be careful. It's not a good idea in the first place, and I wouldn't recommend it overall. Can I... This is high as that goes. Okay. There's gotta be... something. Maybe I'm just attempting the wrong things here. Will-o'-the-wisp. What if I don't want to will-o'-wisps? Those won't attack me. Okay. I gotta go through here. Okay. What is blinking at me? Okay, poison. That's what that was. Uh-huh. I don't necessarily feel like fighting these fine beasts. I'm going to try and go around them. Oh, that's something I'll need to do, though. And there's a Taurus right there. Oh, there's probably an underground thing. How do I... Knight's effects. However, I do believe in honoring those who have passed. That shouldn't be with vengeance, I don't think. But everybody has their own way of going about it, I suppose. And that's our Gorgatar. Man, poisonous Taurus things. Okay, that's interesting. I betcha. There is not a way out through here. Is there? I feel like there might be. Oh, this goes to Witch Drop? Cool. That's good to know. It's very good to know that there's that shortcut there. Although, that looks like it's a one-way shortcut because you have to drop. Drop into Witch Drop. Aha! I'm so very droll. Fool and his life are soon parted. I don't know. Yeah, this is where I need to go. I need to go around this thing. Oh, Medwill, I have slain the beast. Thank the Fury, you're safe. I thought my revenge had been the death of you. But you say it's the monster that's dead. Thank you, kind boy. Standard rosary carried by followers of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church and the Holy See. Okay, And would you look at that, you found his rosary. It's as bright as the day his father put it around his neck. They say mithril never loses its luster. Not like life, eh? Fall to a dragon, go to heaven. Fall to aught else, who gives to hells. That's the Ishgard way. He was a scout, and a good one, I'm told. But he died a fool's death, and fools deserve no justice. They found him, and left his things where they lay. Left him where they lay. His own comrades. But you didn't, did you? You picked this up and brought it to me. A good heart and a noble soul. To keep your promise and do a kind thing unbidden. You are the justice I sought, adventurer. And now I may live out my days in peace. Woo! XPs. That... I feel like I want to talk about that. I really want to talk about that for a second. So, the concept of honor is a big thing with me. It's something that I feel people should have more of, frankly. Especially in the US. I don't know about anybody who's watching anywhere else, but in the US, just disrespect is a rampant thing here. And it drives me up a wall. And honor is part of that. I feel like regardless of who you are interacting with, you should at least show that person or those people a certain amount of respect, a certain base amount of respect. You don't know what those people have gone through. You don't know where they're at in their lives. And we all make a lot of false assumptions every day, myself included. I will admit to that. And the fact that, especially a military unit such as the one this lad was apparently scouting for Ishgard, is the fact that they're leaving him behind, even after death, seems wrong to me. A lot of the established militaries of the world have one thing in common, at least in terms of a no man left behind policy. If you can get the wounded and the dead out of there, make an effort to do so. Even if it's going to cost extra time, unless it's completely going to cost the mission, get them out of there. It's just the right thing to do. Obviously, those of us who are working regular jobs and who can spend time in front of a camera like this, we're not necessarily in those dire situations as often. But that doesn't diminish the lesson here. The lesson is to just have a base respect for everybody you interact with. Low end of the income chain, high end of the income chain. I treat everybody like they are a human being. And as humans, we are all equal, regardless of how much we make, regardless of what we do for a living, regardless of what the choices we've made in the past are. We are all human. And as such, I feel like as a leader, personally or in any other sense of the word, that's a very important thing. So, enough flogging that horse. Let's get back to the game, shall we? Here we go. Okay. I betcha I could use some work on me weapons. Yeah. Work on me weapons. Purchase weapons. Are there any weapons that are worth anything to me? Heavy steel lance. No. I think I have a mithril lance. Let's see. Main hand. Mithril lance. Yeah. Do I have any mail? I haven't checked my mail in months. No new letters. Okay. Cool. Let us go find some more quests. Aha, there are quests up upon the wall. Let's go up there and see what those quests may be about. Edwin. Ooh. Boarskin subligar. I can get boarskin breeches, which I don't think improve much, but whatever. When a merchant is wroth, there is usually coin to be made solving a problem. And Edwin is looking very wroth indeed. Hey you! No time for niceties, I'm waiting on ceruleum. That Uldan cutpurse what calls himself a trader is late with his shipment. Ceruleum burns like an alewife in winter. There's no going without it to make the fire sand for the ballistas. Curse that Sintgut. What does he think we're fighting here, ladybugs? Who knows? Again, more assumptions. Something's late. The last thing you should do is make assumptions and leap to conclusions that get you, and ultimately the person you're jumping to conclusions about, pissed off. You look like you'd enjoy a spot of heat. Find out where my ceruleum order is. Go to Sintgut and, lean on him a little. Question him like. Tell you, those Uldans, keen on being paid, not keen on doing their work. Can't trust them, especially that lot on the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Okay, where's my juice? Question Sintgut with much/doubt. Much/doubt. To the steps of Nold. Got plenty of cash. Let's do it. Go get this man his juice. See, I'm going into a situation where I don't necessarily know either of the people involved. As a... Oh, cool, it's snowing in Ulda. It's snowing everywhere. That doesn't normally snow, I would guess, because of the holiday stuff. But anyways, where was I? I would be very patient and very cautiously inquisitive about what's going on to either party. Where am I going here? Where's my juice? Is over that way. Okay. And that's generally how I am, is somebody brings up a point of contention or an issue or something to me. Chances are I am going to ask a bunch of questions, try and figure out what the root of the problem is, and not just the surface level issue that is maybe pissing off person X, Y, and or Z. Simply because it's often not as big of a problem as people think it is. And that's one thing to keep in mind as a leader. It's not as big, it's usually not as big of a problem as is perceived. Sintgoat, hey, my man. How's it going, my friend? Welcome, welcome. What a mighty discerning... Oh, not here to buy? Then might I suggest you browse quietly? I am quite busy. I guess I have to /doubt you. Makes me feel bad about it. From Edwin in Curthus. Oh dear. My friend, may I call you that? Good leadership lesson. Ask permission. Don't just assume. I'm always asking people whose names are not pronounced the same as they're spelled. Do you prefer, like Catherine, for example? Do you prefer Catherine? Do you prefer Kate, Katie, Kathy? People love it when you ask their permission to call them what they would prefer. My friend, may I call you that? Oh, well then, curious. There's a problem with the ceruleum. And if you think Edwin is vexed, you have no idea how difficult this is for me. You're gonna send me off to get the ceruleum, aren't ya? Okay. Another quest or two and we'll be right there. Hold for customer support. Ooh, bracelets. Nice. Okay. Caught between a rock and a tight place, a middleman will always produce a pot of grease. Find out what Scintgoat has in mind. Angry about the ceruleum order being late, is he? Friend, pardon me, curious. I understand his situation, I really do. And I would ship the stuff to him if I had any. The fact is, it's been a mighty struggle for many moons to procure processed ceruleum from Amagina and Sons. And now they've entirely ceased doing business with most vendors. It's a hard life being the middleman, my dear man. We pay for the sins of producers like Amagina, and what do we get from them in turn? Not so much as a how do you do. Edwin's quarrel is with them, not me. I'm sure, however, you are the next link down the chain, so therefore, generally, it's assumed that your relationship with the producers is your responsibility. And that's a lesson from middle management, which, let's take a moment to talk about that, is as a middle manager, you often find yourself in the middle, right? There's a reason it's called middle management. And as a middle manager, as a middleman in any transaction, in order to lead effectively, you need to be conscious. There's that word again. I'm using the word conscious a lot today. You need to be conscious of the fact that there are more facets than just the next link up and the next link down the chain. And a lot of people, I feel, avoid responsibility by only looking so far as one link in either direction, when in reality, it may not necessarily be their responsibility, but if they're willing to see the fact that, so-and-so who's two links down the chain, as in this case with our friend Scintgoat. Square comes up with some very interesting names. With our friend Scintgoat, it's worth your time to understand that so that you can start planning accordingly. Because chances are, whether you're at the top of the chain or whether you are just another step in the chain from whatever point A to point B a certain deliverable or a certain person or thing has to get to, then you can work with the people you are beholden to make sure that when, the deliverable gets to you and to the realm that you can affect, that it's not going to cause more havoc than it already has. And so it's your responsibility as a leader to look, earlier in the chain or down the chain, depending on whether you want to look at more of a lateral or hierarchical corporate structure, for example. Understand what is coming up the pike your way, what things are coming down the pike to you, and then figure out how to mesh those in such a way as to bring the most harmony at any given moment. Sure, you may not have your shipment of ceruleum because the supplier, two links down the chain from you, which you're not directly responsible for, is having an issue. So that means you need to work with the person who is the go-between or the wholesaler or whoever, vendor, between you and the producer, and work with them to say, what can I do to help you with this? And if that's just to stay out from underfoot for a specific period of time, give me a week. I don't have a week. Okay. Then it's the vendor's responsibility to ask, well, why don't you have a week? And what do I need to know so that as I'm working with the producer, I can try and use that to get something expedited? And it's just, there's a lot of communication involved as a leader, a lot of getting information, a lot of giving information, a lot of working with people who may or may not directly report to you to find the best solution. And that's not just a management thing. It's not just an executive thing. It's something that all of us has to do. And I feel like the sooner we realize that we are in a leadership role, regardless of whether it says so in our title or on our business card, we are. Okay. Do you not know the concern has the exclusive right to mine ceruleum in northern Thanalan? They can do whatever they want. You can always try them directly. Go to Papa Wazoo at Camp Blue Fog. Though I warn you, he's a smug little toad. And despite what you may think of other people, you should be very careful what you say about them behind their backs, even if it's true, and especially if it's not flattering. And a word of caution is something that you think is flattering to a person may not be. All right, so where am I going here? Speak with Portalane? No. Speak with Papa Wazoo. Can I go to Camp Blue Fog? I can't. It's been a while since I've played. I didn't realize I'd even been to Camp Blue Fog. I thought it said Camp Blue Frog for a second. Oh, Papa Wazoo. Come hither, you beautiful Lalafell. And who are you? Adventurer. No, I don't remember ordering any, and I would remember something like that, seeing as I'm the employee of the moon for the 9th time. Thank you. Shush now. I'm listening to the scruffy man. Scruffy? I say. An inquiry about the processed ceruleum shipment from Sintgoat and Ulda? Interesting. Oh, what do I want? I kind of want a red bracelet because it goes with everything else red. Dex. I am a Dex character. Vitality, mind, piety. Vitality, intent. Let's do amethyst. Now, Papa Wazoo is going to send me somewhere else because he's the type of leader who deflects things. I can tell by the way he speaks. And I shouldn't be so quick to judgment, I should say. All right, Papa Wazoo. When ceruleum is thin on the ground, plots grow thick. None other than Papa Wazoo, the 9-time employee of the moon, wishes to consort with you. Oh, great. So, we may have a shared problem here. As unlikely as that sounds, we would love to ship ceruleum. But there's far too little of it coming out of the plant. I suspect thievery. A little skimming off the top, Furthermore, I suspect the porters. I was just going to keep an eye. Wouldn't want trouble with the labor confraternities, you know. But you are welcome to doubt and question them. And I use one problem to solve another. Brilliant. Or at least he's innovative. Where am I going? Question the spirited porter with much doubt. Thieves and robbers. That's the quest. Okay. It's just around the horn here. Spirited porter, my good man. I hope I am not interrupting a meal. Bless me, Naldthal. Let there be no creature features today. Your name be praised. I don't get paid enough for this. Now, that's another thing too, and let's take the camera back for a second, is a lot of the times the folks who are at the bottom of the food chain get blamed for things that are beyond their control. And I feel like a lot of times the leaders who are doing that blaming, who are the ones who in fact have the power to control the things they're blaming the people at the bottom of the chain for, are just plain lazy and or dishonest. And if you work for somebody who consistently shifts blame for things that you know are their responsibility, I encourage you to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. Or at the very least, bring it up privately to HR or, circumstances dependent, their boss. Obviously, that's a bit more of a thing because they may take issue. Your boss may take issue with you going over their head to their boss with a complaint about them. So be very, very careful with that. I'd probably recommend the HR route first, especially, the lower you are on the quote unquote corporate food chain, especially at companies where management culture is toxic, HR is the avenue to go. And unfortunately, HR may be toxic as well, but they're at least bound by certain regulations and certain laws that protect you as an employee. So that's generally the best course of action if you have a complaint about somebody in management. Again, I've dealt with toxic management myself time and time again, and it's those situations were jobs that I quickly found a way out of. I wasn't expecting it. I had to take another few months to figure out a way out, to secure something else that could get me out of there and still allow me to pay my bills. But it's, oh man, if you've ever had a toxic manager, a toxic executive who just makes your days miserable and there's nothing you can do about it, oh man, that's one of the worst things in the world because you spend most of your waking life at your job. And that's not a way to spend it, in my opinion. So, I hate to do it to this guy, but I'm kind of railroaded by the game, so there's not really much I can do. Questions I would ask, but in a very, very different tone than what is being conveyed here. Stealing ceruleum. 1, I ought to punch you in the face for impugning my reputation. 2, you think I'd be here with my arse out in the wind if I'd made off with that kind of loot? Probably not. But then again, you could be really smart and waiting for your chance. We're doing honest work out here with all manner of nasties just yalms away. You doubt my words, go check the ceruleum in those barrels. Ain't nothing missing from what's in the books. Okay. Investigate processed ceruleum. Yeah, and that's the thing, is so many people who are getting the bad end of something, generally honest people. The cerulean goblins thing was my life. Take care of that. Okay, let my health refill here. Yeah, it's generally the people who are being had out for something, who are the honest folk, who don't have the energy or don't have the type of personality to strike back at those who are making their lives miserable. Not that I'm saying you should, but the energy should be directed to strike back in a way that, one, does not create more conflict, and two, does something constructive to end the conflict. Poke. Okay. We're getting there. We finish this quest, then we'll be able to level and we'll be able to continue the Dragoon quest line. I'm not entirely sure what Doom Spike does. There we go. Okay, I have investigated. See that your claims are true. Goblins? Drinking ceruleum? Now I've seen everything. Well, I guess I don't need to get me a champion from the confraternity. That's a relief. But we'll have to make an extra trip to the plant to make up for what those cursed topers put down the hatch. Indeed. Can I go back that way? No, I probably can't. Yeah, and sometimes as a leader, you just need to help people. Funny that's generally your job as a leader, is to be there to help people. Papa Wazoo, obviously not so much. Interesting. Goblins? Goblins? No, I definitely didn't order any. We do sometimes, though, for business reasons. Everybody does it. Uh-huh. Shush, you can stop talking now. So, I'll have to hire guards for that whole area and, oh, an idea Raise the price and call it a special security surcharge. Uh-huh. I mean, depending on your profit margins, yes, that's sometimes necessary. Okay. So this is Dex, Vitality, and Critical Hit. Woo! Offhand. Offhand. Oh, I'm a Lancer. I don't need anything in my offhand. Left ring wrists. Item level 5. This is wrists, right? Dexterity plus 3, critical hit 5. This is like everything plus 1. Update gear set. There we go. What rings do I have? It's been a while. Level 36. Dex plus 3, crit plus 5, vitality plus 3. We'll leave that as is. Alright, Wazoo. And a chance to admire it if this weapon strikes you. No, I think I'm going to go back to Ishgard. I know there's a Chocobo Porter here. Chocobo Keep, rather. So where do I need to go? Blue Fog is way the heck out here. Mordona. Central Thanalan. Which goes back to Ishgard. You know, it might just be cheaper. Camp Drybone. Amalia Stronghold, no. I'm not gonna ride, I don't think. Kurthus is where I need to go. I need to go to... I guess Camp Dragonhead's really the closest, so let's go back there. The meat axe. Right. Figured out how to summon my Chocobo, by the way. Oh my. Fates and all that nonsense. Not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do that off to... We're gonna go off and do more Dragoon stuff. There's a snowman mount. Oh dear. Of course there's a snowman mount, and it's probably a premium thing too. Hello, Albric. Sir Albric has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Impeccable timing, Curious. Message arrived from Estinian but moments ago. Much to my astonishment, he would trade words with us and bids us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap. We must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. Indeed you can. Double Dragoon. At the Renda's Valse Point. Boulder Downs. Up. Okay. That's off this way. Let's go then. I've never been up here. This is an interesting place. No, 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 no. Well, this is quite the place indeed. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estinian! End this folly at once. You must know that each second the Eye passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the Eye, and return with me to Ishgard before it is too late. Yeah. Ah, but it is already too late, Master. For you see, Nidhogg has already awakened. What? Hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The Eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irrepressible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. That rancor will send him flying as a speeding arrow toward Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Were the Eye taken to a remote land, far from the Holy See, then, and only then, could destruction be averted and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to make a bait of yourself? Nay, there is more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than any else. It was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men, and do not soon forget the wrongs done to them. What grudge they harbor burns as a fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When last he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Not short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nidhogg took everything from me. Now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing 2 azure dragons in one generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask you lend me your power. I, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have 2 azure dragons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only, chance to send the great worm to eternal slumber. I don't know. Behold my armor. This is the Draken mail, forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. If you would realize your potential as an azure dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. But I like the color red. Clad so, you will inherit the technique passed from azure dragoon to azure dragoon down through the generations. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Draken mail, as I and Sir Alberic did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure. Series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that he learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estinian, wait! Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. There's a bit to unpack there. Speak with Alberic. All right. Run away! I can take those guys, but why? That's interesting. So there's obviously Alberic was Estinian's mentor as the dragoon before him. What transpired between Alberic and Alstinian, I don't quite recall, and I don't know if we've been given all the details yet. It's obvious there's a lot there that needs to be discussed between the two.